Welcome back. And in this episode, we're going to go take a look at the Dungeons of Moonrise. So we'll open up our map and we're going to travel back to the Moonrise Tower waypoint. And we're just doing that because it's faster to run through the bridge here than it is to traverse the entire tower back down.
Consider me intrigued.
So we're going to again run into the sort of entrance, but we're not going to go through the double doors. And this time we're going to hang a right.
I wouldn't have if not for the lantern bearer. To think the absolute grace is such a creature.
And opening the door, we're going to head down the stairs. And we find the Moonrise Tower Prison. And let's take a look around. So we've got several scrying eyes. Those will summon additional absolute cultists. We find the captured tieflings and Wolbrin Bongle, who Barkus is looking for. Running back, we find a guard back here, and then there's an area up here that looks like it goes behind the cells. So if we just kind of take a quick visual, there's also something back over here, and that's what our first concern is. So we're going to jump over and have a look at whatever this is. And it looks gross and not very good.
Is that blood?
And before we get too much further in, we're going to make sure that our Tav is also strong enough to throw people. So in some circumstances, we might need both characters to be active in the throwing process. So we're going to crouch and walk up to this back door and lockpick it. And then we're going to open it and step away. And our goal here is to use Minor Illusion to grab the Warden and bring her over here so we can throw her down the hole. This is because she has loot that we actually want to get, and throwing her down the hole means that we can go get it. The rest of these folks are going to just die and not be lootable. So we'll cast Minor Illusion and she's going to come over. We'll wait until she's bored and starts walking away, and we'll do it again. And we'll prep another one. And we'll cast that. We'll swap to Lizelle and cast Guidance. And then when she walks up, we're just going to enter turn-based mode. And we'll walk up behind her, click throw, and we're just going to throw her till she shows in the hole here. All right, so she's actually down in through the hole. If we cast Featherfall and jump down there, we're going to end up in an oubliette that's underneath of this area, and we'll be able to loot her there. And we can see that these floating eyes are sort of roving around. And those are going to be a bit dangerous for us. We're going to have to be pretty careful about how we interact. They're easily disposed of. We can just throw them. But they can cause problems for us if they're attracting bad guys when we're not ready for them. So we'll come over here and take a look. It looks like no one's coming right away, so we'll just Minor Illusion and get this guard to walk over. And we'll walk up behind him, enter turn-based mode, and we'll find out here, right, that he's too heavy to throw, but he's not too heavy to shove. So we can see that our shove right here is going to throw him right into the pit, and that's what we're going to do. And then we'll jump out of the way just in case the eyeball is going to do anything funny, and it doesn't look like it's going to go off right away. So we'll come over. And again, right when it kind of reaches the edge, we're going to go into turn-based mode. And we're going to throw the eye as well, and we're going to get a death symbol on it. And that's it for the first of the floating watchers. And on occasion, sometimes we can get, you'll see someone come running, and if you see them come running, you can back off, or you can commit to much more of hurling people to their death. Either works. We've got this patrolling adept coming our way, and we're going to minor illusion them over here too. And they're a lot lighter than the other guards, so you can throw these. So we'll run up behind her, click throw, and we can see we've got a death symbol, so off she goes. And we'll exit turn-based mode. Okay, so we've cleared the back part. And we've seen this eyeball go before. It's going to go through the door, and then it's going to come back out. So it turns around and is coming back this way. And when it's kind of on the bridge, we'll enter turn-based mode. And we're going to select throw, and we'll just throw it until it dies. And we'll exit turn-based mode, and it's gone. Again, we don't see anyone coming, so we're still safe.
Fair point.
Now, we've got some guards in here, so we've got another adept, and we've got these two sort of paladins, the zealots over here. They can be somewhat difficult to separate, but I'm going to go ahead and try to just get the adept. And this is a bit of a hike to get them to where it's convenient to throw them. Whoops. Pulled the trigger on that one a little early. But they're actually relatively powerful enemies. So trying to duke it out with all of them is time consuming. And you'll end up using quite a bit more in the way of resources than you're going to use with this method. Which is, essentially free, right? We are not really... Oh, I forgot to enter turn-based mode. There we go. And it exit. And this is costing us a potion of Hill Giant Strength on the main character, basically, and our time. So we'll wait till they get bored and start walking away. And nab them. I think I said in the original character creation, or maybe in the prologue, that Minor Illusion was one of the most powerful spells in the game. It very certainly is. The ability to control where you want to initiate is just amazing. All right, and once we get them over there, we'll go ahead and pause time. And we're going to run over. And for the first time, we're going to do two of them at once, right? So we're actually going to have combat start.
No one back home will ever believe
And to make sure that we're able to deal with that, we'll crouch
Any attention right now.
and step out of the way.
Breathe deep and move.
So if something bad happens, then we can try to address it. So we can throw this one, and we will. And we immediately go into combat. And now we're going to shove the next one. And that's it. So we didn't need to worry too much about having Alfira deal with it. So we've cleared out all the guards except for the mind control gals at the front. So if you spared Minthara, you'll actually find her here, but only after you've encountered Ketheric. So if you needed to, you could just leave these two alone. They're not really worth enough experience to justify doing much with them. One of them performs super buggily too, so like when you try to drag them, they won't want to go. So we're just going to leave them there for now. And we'll grab our main character, Alfira, and we're going to cast Featherfall. We don't want to die when we jump down this hole, and we'll jump.
An Elithid oubliette. Right beneath the towers. The colony must be close. That must be where the tadpoles are coming from.
And we'll loot the Warden. The Warden has a ton of really great stuff. So we've got a prison key, we've got some barbed arrows, a potion of invisibility, a guard key for the doors upstairs, and the Spellcrux amulet, which will restore a spell slot of, I think, any level, and another potion of angelic reprieve, and some arrows, and even a heavy crossbow. I don't think we have any use for a heavy crossbow. So we're down here in a really disgusting place. This is super gross. And here we can see into the end zone for this act, and you can see Chop and Elective Hours and stuff over here. And this room that we're looking into is actually where we would encounter the Intellect Devourer us if we had saved him at the beginning of the prologue. Alright, so up here we're going to find some hook horrors, but we don't want to fight hook horrors, so we're just going to cast Invisibility. And because we're upcasting it at level 3, it's asking for 2 targets. We'll just commit to 1 target. And run right past him. And where we want to go is over here to this, and it kind of shows on your map where we're headed. So we're going to go to this cragged rock and climb it. Alright, so now that we've looted, we can have a chat with the prisoners and free them. There's a digging spot here. I think I even said I was going to point some of these out, and I haven't been very good about that, so my apologies. They're around a lot. Anytime you see the dice roll, essentially, and you just have, you know, sort of random junk in them most of the time. We've got a lot of consumables already. So we'll cast Featherfall and jump down. And we're going to go talk to Roland's siblings.
Roland better be all right.
It's Roland. He's probably...
Let me guess. The Absolute is the only way. Don't bother. Why don't you and Zevlor take a long walk off a short cliff?
So we're just going to say that we're not with the Absolute. And we'll only fail on a 1.
If you're not at the Absolute's beck and call, Why are you here?
And I'll say we're here to
The
help.
gnomes next door are up to something. They've been whispering like mad.
Whatever it is, we're in. Don't leave us in here.
All right. So we'll go talk to Wolbrin.
Nimble. Check for gaps, cracks, anything to leverage the rock. Nickels, tools. Get creative. This rock is basalt. It'll crack with enough pressure. Ah, don't mind us, true soul. The back wall is weak. We're working to brace it.
That is the worst lie ever. We'll just say that Barkus sent us.
Barkus is out here? Didn't think he had the stones. Well, if he sent you, you're no slave to the Absolute. You're a damn wolf among sheep, aren't you? I reckon you and I were meant to meet. I'm Wolbrin.
And it's a pleasure.
We've got a plan. For us and the Tieflings both. But we're scuppered without the right equipment. We need tools. That head case of a warden robbed ours. But anything that breaks rock will do. Even if it's not Iron Hand quality. Whatever you find, throw it through the bars. But for the love of Gerdel, make sure a guard doesn't see you. Or we're both done for.
So the mechanic of this is that if you want to try to sneak them out, you can get something and then, climb up on top and throw it down. And as a note, if we were to go in and climb the ladder, we're going to find there's another scrying eye up there. And so if we want to deal with that, they are good at detecting invisible creatures. So we're going to grab our resident thrower of stuff, and we're going to jump up and have a look. And we can see the scrying eye is coming around.
Let us have words.
And we're going to want to see if there's a way that we can throw this thing to get rid of it. And it can be a bit difficult to deal with these. We've also got Scrolls of Shatter, which might work. So if we take a look at it, we can see it's got 11 hit points. And it is vulnerable to thunder damage. So we might be able to use a Scroll of Shatter and break it. And we have several Scrolls of Shatter, so we'll give that a shot. And that's it. If you activate it, you can try additional Scrolls of Shatter. You can throw it and then throw it into a pit. You may get an additional guard that comes in, and I found that happens sometimes. You should be easily able to deal with it. We up here find that we've got Wolbrin's hammer, so we can just give that back to him. And we've got some gold stuff and boxes and things if we want to break them up. So if we were to have gotten arrested, we've got evidence chests. And that's it. So we're going to do a jailbreak.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have. Not on my feet.
So we'll talk to Wolbrin.
Your feet fly fast, my friend. Any luck with those tools?
We did. We're going to give him his hammer back.
Blessed Gerdel, I thought I'd never see it again. Thank you.
The plan is to wait for a quiet moment, then bust out the back wall. We'll grab the tieflings along the way. We'll need them if it comes to a fight. You, however, are the clincher. Once we move, keep the patrols busy. If the bastards spot us, all of bloody Moonrise will come down on us.
And we'll just tell them it's time.
We'll move once it's quiet. Until then, be ready.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. So they're breaking out now, and we've got a bunch of levers that we could pull. We're not interested in pulling the communal cell lever yet. We're going to go ahead and I forget if it's 2 or 4. I'll make sure that we've got the tiefling saved. Okay, so everybody's out, and let's see if it's 2. And it's 2. Okay, so you want to use cell 2, which is the one that Wilburn was in, and then we can just follow him. And here they're prepping this boat that's stored back here. There's a dig spot over here while I'm thinking about it. And once they break the chains, we'll get a cutscene.
Boat's good to go. All that's left is to ship off. My plan for now is to hide out on the water. Unless you have a better idea.
We do. We know the last light in. That's where we're going to go.
Safe? That's no small claim in these parts. Lead the damn way.
Drift through the dark until time, skill, or luck brings you to Last Light's dock.
Hold there. You can't just land and start unloading strangers. They're procedures, damn it. No one gets in without being tested. Commander Jahira's orders.
So we'll just say that we already passed the test.
You did, but your friends did not. Anyone could be infected, so we're checking all new faces. No exceptions. Here, form a line. Let's see if the Absolute's little pet recognizes any of you.
The Absolutes, what? What are you doing?
So we'll just say, trust us.
If what you've said is true, no one has anything to fear. If not, well, we'll soon find out. Now, form a line. I'll not ask again. This won't take long.
And so we're going to collect some inspiration from the breakout. And we'll head up, and we need to talk to the Tieflings in order to complete the Save the Tieflings quest. Now there's a dig spot over here too. So we'll start off with the least likely and the sort of like the most surprising to find. So Bex is over here waiting for her husband to come back. So we'll wait until that happens, and we'll follow up with her, and then we'll go in and talk to Roland's siblings, and then we'll also talk to Alfira, the actual Alfira. So he runs over, we'll run over and talk to Bex.
You're all right. My gods, you're all right.
Come here, darling.
We're going to smile. They do look happy.
I was so scared I'd lost you.
Me too. But we're here now. Safe.
And it's nice to see them back together.
Credit where it's due. Bex, this is the one who helped me and the others escape.
This isn't the first time you've helped us. Saved our lives, really. Why?
We're heroes.
You make it sound so easy. But I know the lengths you've gone to on our behalf. We'll never forget it. Never, ever. Here. Take these for the road. It's the least I can do.
She made us cookies. That's kind of nice.
Shall we go for a walk?
Anywhere.
And we're going to come back up to the front door.
Patrols report more activity among the cultists, Mom. Preparing for march.
And we'll talk to Roland.
Seems that way.
Where in the nine hells have you been?
I'm sorry, we got captured by murderous lunatics.
I thought you were dead, you ass! Both of you!
We're all safe, Roland. That's what matters.
And we'll say that he was in a bad state.
I was just overwhelmed. Doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. We should have been here.
No, it's not your fault. I shouldn't have shouted. I'm sorry.
Thank you for saving me. And the two idiots.
And we'll say, don't mention it.
Humble too? Imagine that.
She has no cause to be humble. She brought us back together. A task I failed miserably at. You went out of your way to help us. It's only right you get something in return. Here. I hope it helps.
And then we're going to come over and we'll talk to the actual Alfira.
You're here! You're all right! How?
We're two Tiefling queens, remember? I couldn't leave my favorite bard without her partner in crime. I did have some help from an old friend, though.
How did you do it?
And we'll take the Bard option.
Fingers crossed I'll hear it someday. You should have seen her. She was brave, but also terrifying. In a good way.
I never thought I'd see... well, anyone again. Thank you. 1,000 times, thank you. One last favor. Take this off my hands. It suits you better.
This is a big stack of rewards, including the potent robe. This adds our charisma damage, our charisma modifier to damage on cantrips. So super good for will, and it also gives temporary hit points equal to charisma modifier. Again, super good for will and an armor class bonus. So really amazing item for a warlock. All right, so this is where we're going to end this video. And I will catch you in the next one. We will move the plot forward a little bit. We're going to head back to Moonrise, and I will see you there. Bye, and thanks for watching.